Hello and welcome back to another bonus episode of Hockey Inside Out. The Habs had to make some difficult decisions when putting together their opening night roster, and Mattias Norlinder's name was not there. Were you surprised to not see him with the Canadiens to start the year? Rick, since you're a former assistant coach, we'll get your thoughts first.
Well, again, classic example of numbers, and they have to find ways to move guys down to the minors when they can from the legality standpoint. But deserving to play at the NHL level, he did great things at training camp. Good power play guy. I don't think we've seen the last of him. I think it's injuries are going to be part of it. I think that this kid is deserving of another chance to see what he can do at the NHL level, and I was quite impressed with his overall play.
I wasn't that surprised. I mean, yes, Norlinder had a good training camp, but the larger body of work was last season in Laval. And the Canadiens used 11 defensemen last season, and they never called Norlinder up. So they obviously weren't happy with what he was doing in Laval. And as I said, that's a much larger body of work. He did have a good training camp. Also, Justin Barron, I mean, Kent Hughes gave up Arturi Lehkonen to get him, former first-round pick. This is a guy they want to see make the team. They did everything last season to try and get Barron to make the team in the preseason. He played almost every game. He didn't play well. They cut him. They were probably reluctant to cut him again. He did play quite well with the Canadiens at the end of last season, and that's another body of work they can judge him by. So I think those are the reasons why they decided to keep Barron as the seventh defenseman to start the season anyway, and send Norlinder down to Laval. As Marty St. Louis said, he'll get lots of playing time down there. And if he can, it might be almost a test to see how he reacts to this too. How does he react? Does he go back to Laval and sulk? Or does he go back to Laval pissed off that he didn't make the team? It's like, I'm going to show you guys. So it'll be interesting to watch how he does down there.
Yeah, I think you guys nailed it. I think with Norlinder, the important thing to talk about is not necessarily that he didn't make the team. It's that he went from essentially a forgotten prospect in the Canadian system, which is very deep on defense. You know, in August, there were people talking about he was going back to Sweden to play there, not staying in Laval. And all of a sudden, he's pushed himself up the pecking order to the point where he's probably the first call up out of Laval if they needed defensemen. And that's positive. You know, that's a really big step for him in his career. And hopefully he goes down and treats his season in Laval the same way Justin Barron did last year. The reason why Barron got that call up halfway through the season, or maybe a little bit earlier than that, was that he went down to Laval and he was incredible. He was their best player by a mile, best defenseman by a mile. If Norlinder can repeat that, he's going to play games in the NHL.
Yeah, and communication is one of the biggest strengths of this Canadiens management group, starting with Gorton and Hughes and Marty St. Louis. And I'm sure they had that conversation with Norlinder saying, we're sending you back there, but keep doing what you're doing and work hard down there. And you'll be the first guy we're going to call up if for when there's our injuries. So it's really going to be interesting to see how Norlinder reacts to this. Because you're right, Andrew, he was the forgotten guy, right? He had gone from being like considered the Canadiens' top defense prospect to the forgotten man. And good for him. He put his name back out there again at this training camp.
You know, and he's a 23-year-old kid too that has, limited experience. So the good note to build on is he seems to understand the what is needed to compete at a higher level at the NHL level. He got involved a little bit more than what we've seen. I thought before he was a little shy, which is sometimes some players take a little bit more time to realize the extra push that they need to do to play at the NHL level. But like I said, he's got the makings of a good player. Now let him spend a lot of time in different situations in Laval and watch him develop, because he does have some very good talent.
And I think sometimes people underestimate the challenges of European guys, not just getting used to the NHL, but getting used to a new country and a new lifestyle and everything else. And with Slafkovsky, that was something last season. With Norlinder, that might play a little bit into it also, just adjusting to a totally new environment, both on and off the ice, plus the smaller rink and so much involved with that.
And Laval's a beautiful place, so I'm sure he'll enjoy his time there.
And you get the metro right out there to the rink from downtown.
Exactly, but I'm sure it won't be long before we'll see Norlinder up with the Montreal Canadiens. Let us know, what did you think about that move, and do you expect him to be called up anytime soon? And check out hockeyinsideout.com to see our full episode.